There's no such thing as normal. Normal is an illusion. Having a fetish isn't shameful. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you, and it's definitely not something you should hide. As long as all parties involved are consenting adults, it's perfectly acceptable. It's not even uncommon to indulge in fetish fantasies or engage in fetish play. The Journal of Sex Research found that 1 in 3 people engage with a fetish at least once in their lifetime. A fetish is a heightened attraction to certain objects like high heels or pantyhose and or body parts beyond the genitals, such as feet or the navel or even earlobe. Think of fetishes as erotic superchargers that aren't always necessary, but make sex much more intimate and erotic for the person with the fetish. Having a fetish isn't unhealthy or a sign of a psychological problem. Most fetishists are mentally well adjusted and don't suffer any drawbacks in their lives or relationships due to their fetish. Most people with a fetish say that they still enjoy non-fetish sex. A fetish is only considered a problem when a person fulfills their fantasy by engaging in non-consensual behaviors, if it poses an unacceptable level of risk or harm to themselves or others, or if it causes severe psychological distress or impairment. 2 good acronyms to remember are RAC, which stands for Risk Aware Consensual Kink, and SSC, which is Safe, Sane, Consensual. Now, before I go any further, I want to take a moment to explain the difference between a fetish and kink. Is a pretty broad concept that includes pretty much every form of sexual expression that falls outside of vanilla or mainstream sex acts. Kink is an umbrella term and fetish falls under it. Thus, all fetishes are kinks, but not all kinks are fetishes. BDSM is another practice that falls under the kink umbrella, and it refers to a wide spectrum of sexual behaviors and preferences. Acronym BDSM stands for bondage, dominant, discipline, sadism, submission, and masochism. Now, there are 4 types of fetishes. The first one is body parts: legs, feet, mouth, nose, teeth, navel, as well as hair. Any hair. It could be the hair on your head. It could be body hair. I wonder if things like nail clippings or foot dust, foot skin would fall under this category. I feel like they would. The second type of fetish is body feature. Think body modifications, tattoos, piercings, and bodily fluids. Liquid, solid, spit, mucus, lactation, sweat, semen, all of it. Any body fluid. I'd argue that body odors also fall under this category, so it would include eproctophilia and olfactophilia. I also feel like size fetish falls under this category, as well as possibly bimbofication. The third type of fetish is clothing and materials. Clothing such as stockings, lingerie, materials like rubber, latex, leather, silk, satin, as well as footwear, boots, shoes. I feel like possibly furries and cosplayers might fall under this fetish because of the nature in which they use their assumed persona to engage with their interests. And the fourth type of kink is non-sexual objects. Less common things like stethoscopes, pacifiers, balloons. Now, according to WebMD, the most common fetishes include body part or body features, with feet being the most common fetish. Body fluid, size fetishes, and hair fetishes come next, followed by wearables. Clothes worn on the hips or legs are at the top of this list. Think hosiery, skirt, footwear, and then underwear ranked closely behind. So many people come to me saying that they're embarrassed or ashamed of their fetishes. They say that their family would reject them, and some are so fearful of rejection by their current or potential partners that they feel they can never open up about their interests to anyone. Empathy and community are how we combat shame. You weren't born feeling ashamed of your fetish. You learned to feel shame through life experiences. Positive self-talk is very important. You need to remind yourself that you are what someone wants. You just haven't met them yet. When you hide parts of your sexuality from your partner, You remove the option for them to decide if your fetish is something they find interesting. So honesty is critical. It's probably not a great idea to bring up your fetish for the first time during sex. You want to give them time to decide how they feel about it without feeling the pressure to act on it right away. You should also ask your partner if they have any unique interests they'd like to engage in. Now, if your partner seems receptive to exploring your fetish with you, you could show them a video of your fetish, just look something up online. I would also advise that you slowly and gently ease into exploring the fetish together. An example of this might look like starting out with gentle hand spankings before moving to full-on floppers.